Yes, my name is Nathan Theodoulou, and I'm one of the directors of Rockschool and RSL.
Okay. So how are you liking Nagaland so far?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. I got in yesterday. I've had a chance to look around. It's a beautiful place. The people are welcoming and friendly, so it's been very nice to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about today's event and also about the course which is going to be unveiled today?
Yes, so we're here to launch our new piano syllabus. So for many years people have studied the piano and they've usually had to choose a style of music. Maybe they liked classical music, that's how they were taught. They've studied classical music. Maybe some people said, not for me, I'm going to learn pop, rock. But as people, when we're listening to music, usually we don't have a favorite style. We've all got playlists on streaming apps, and sometimes we listen to pop, rock, classical or jazz. We listen to all types of music, not just one. But then when we're learning, sometimes we get stuck to learning one style. So what we've done now with this new piano syllabus is we've mixed everything together. So you've got classical pieces in there, you've got pop, you've got rock, you've got the blues, you've got jazz, you've got Latin, you've got reggae, you've got all music in one syllabus. So it doesn't matter what sort of teacher you are, what sort of student you are, what music you like, there'll be something in there that you'll enjoy playing and learning.
Thank you so much.
Sir Nathan, who have come all the way from UK, London, just to be here, and he'll be traveling again, I think tomorrow itself. So just for 1 hour session, he is here with us, all the way from London, all right? Can we give him a big hand? If you can please stand, and a small token of love from all of us, you want to give? Yes. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Yeah. Thank you. And also we want to welcome, our very own Mr. Arup, our country director of RSL, for coming again. Arup, can you please stand? Yeah, thank you so much. RSL music exam, is an international examination board from the UK. I think we have all been doing this exam for such a long time. We started this exam way back in 2012, and till today, this board has been very consistent. And I think even this year, a little more than 1,000, are appearing exam every year, and it's growing. Each year it's growing. And the syllables, it's not just contemporary, but we have launched classical syllables as well. As you know, we have classical piano, classical violin, classical guitar. Everything is there. And the rock syllables, I don't need to explain because I think we have been enjoying the rock syllables as well. One good news as well is, from next year, I think Nagaland is very popular for church music, right? And we all, especially pianists, I think we all love playing hymns as well. So from next year, one good news is, we'll get to play the hymns even in our exam syllables, right? The free pitch choice, we can play church hymns as well even in our exam. So this is one of the good news that we're bringing to all of you even this afternoon. Today, the new piano syllabus launch is mostly towards from classical to classical rock, mostly towards pop. The classical syllables will continue, but this is a new syllabus. I'm yet also to have a thorough, things on these things. We are yet to try. I've requested some of the students to try as well, so they'll be playing as well. But I think the detailed, information about these new syllables will be taken by our very own Sir Nathan. So I will not be taking much time, and I will give him the rest of the time. If there's any questions later, you can please feel free to ask. Any questions regarding the syllables, any questions regarding the examination as well, you can do that. Later, if you want to interact with him, meet him, I think he's open to that as well, alright? Media friends are here. If you want to interview him later, you can also do that as well. So I will give the rest of the time to him since he has come a long way. I think the star person is him alone, not me. Alright, so I'll give him the rest of the time. Shall we all give him a big hand? Sir Nathan.
Absolute pleasure to be here. I've been here about a day. Absolutely love Kohima, love Nagaland. It's such a beautiful place, and everyone has been so friendly, welcoming, and it's just been an absolute privilege to be here. I'm sorry it's so short this time, but next time I come, we'll try and schedule in some more time here. So thank you very much for making me feel welcome. Okay, we've got a new product to launch, although some of you may have been using this for the last couple of months. You may have began playing and teaching some of the pieces. So we're going to do a deep dive into the syllabus today. show you all of the features. It's our first hybrid product, so we've got digital things that we can look at as well as the things that come in the paper book. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the microphone that way a bit and set up a couple of things so that you can really see the screen behind me and see the presentation. At the RSL group, which includes obviously RSL doing the exams, Rockschool, and we've got a few other smaller companies that we've started recently. And my area is two actually, product, so that's everything that we make, all of the books that you make, the backing tracks, how we record them, which pieces we choose, how we get the licenses for those pieces, which studios we use, which musicians we get in to record, all the way through to the actual books that you hold, how we make our digital products, all of those things on the product side, and then marketing is basically doing this, coming around today, talking to you, but also what everything looks like, everything that helps to get the message out for you as teachers and students, encouraging them to use the syllabus. It's probably the best job in the company, I think, apart from one other one, which is Jono, who you'll see later. Jono Harrison is our composer in residence. He probably has the best job because he just gets to compose music all day. I managed to do a little bit. You'll hear one of my compositions a bit later. I do a few pieces each time we have a syllabus, but Jono is brilliant. You'll see him on video doing a lot of composing. So, Rockschool Piano 2025. As Mele said, we've had a rock and pop syllabus for a while. We've had a classical syllabus for a while. This time round, I thought we could do something different. If you enjoy RSL Classical, as Mele said, don't panic. It's not going anywhere. It's still there. If you like purely classical, and that had a few different types of music in it as well, you can do that and still get your classical certificates. But this way, it gives you extra flexibility. And it's a new way to teach piano. And talking about new ways of looking at things, that's an unusual view of the piano. That's an X-ray of a grand piano. And that's what I did this time round. I thought I really want to look at the piano differently, look at the way we play it, look at the way we teach it, and come up with a different way of teaching piano. Now, for many of us, we probably think of ourselves as a certain type of musician or teacher. Maybe we think of ourselves as a classical piano teacher. That's what I do. I play classical music. I was taught classical music. My students learn classical music. That's what I do. I'm a classical piano teacher. Others will go, nope, it's rock for me. I like to rock out. I'm a rock teacher. I'm going to rock till the wheels fall off. This is for me, no classical. Some people will go, no, it's pop. It's pop for me. I just want to play pop. Rock's too much. Classical's too boring. I just want to play pop. Other people will go, you're all wrong. You want to be cool. You want to be smooth. You want to swing a little bit. You want to play some jazz. You should be a jazz piano teacher. And we kind of box ourselves in, don't we? And yet, is that how we listen to music? Probably not. Some of us will have a few favourite pieces of classical music. We'll have some rock tracks that come on and the head starts going and it feels great. We'll have some other music that comes on and we want to dance. It could be a pop track or a dance track or a disco track. We'll have a bit of jazz if we want to chill out. We might have some Latin or some reggae. We might have some hymns that make us feel a certain way. So why do we box ourselves in as teachers and we only teach one style of music? Well, we don't listen to music that way. And the piano is perhaps the best example of it. It is one of the most versatile instruments out there. We can play anything we like on it. We can play classical, we can play Bach, or we can play the blues. We can literally do that. I mean, let's play a little bit of Bach that we'll all know. We've got some piano coming. We did. Let's see. Are we on? That's okay. Okay, we're on that side. Good. Magic. Always helps to turn it up, doesn't it? There we go, and we're awake. Okay, so we all know this tune. But we could play it. anything on the piano. We can turn one thing into another. We can play Bach, we can play the blues, we can play Latin, we can play jazz. Anything you want, we can play on the piano. So why do we teach just one thing? Why do we only teach pop, or we only teach classical, when we can choose, we can have fun with all of those things? So that's why this time we've got our new syllabus that has a bit of everything. We've got classical, we've got pop, we've got rock, we've got jazz, we've got Latin, we've got R&B, we've got Motown, we've got funk, we've got reggae, we've got the whole lot in one syllabus. Even film music, some of us love that music that goes and accompanies our favourite films. So we've got absolutely everything in the one syllabus. That doesn't mean that classical's going away, but this time you've got some classical pieces in the same book, so you don't have to switch between books, you don't have to buy two books, your students don't have to buy two books. If there are some pieces, by the way, in RSL Classical that you like at the same grade, you can use those as free choice pieces, just like you can use the hymns, as Mele said at the beginning. So you can mix and match, but now you've got kind of one syllabus that does everything that has different types of music in, so you can have fun. Maybe if you're a predominantly classical teacher, and you know that there are students out there that would like to play some pop songs, and maybe you don't connect with them, maybe they try classical for a bit and then they go somewhere else. Now you've got a tool to help retain those students so that you can get a few more students and play some pop music. You've got enough classical in this syllabus for you to feel comfortable as a teacher, but then you can branch out and you can kind of try a little bit of pop teaching, and your students can play a little bit of pop or jazz using the one syllabus. So it gives you a bit more scope to kind of grow your teaching business a little bit, reach some new students. Likewise, if you've only ever taught pop and rock, classical music's brilliant. It's lovely. It's got rich melodies and harmonies, and it's really interesting and different to play classical music. So you could try it with your students. If you've got students that love to sight read, and they're really good sight readers, maybe some of the classical pieces are going to work better. You might have those that love playing by ear. Well, then you've got our improvisation tests, and you've got the chordal-based pop music. So we made this for you. It's designed to be flexible so that you can teach how you want to teach. Students can learn how they want to learn, and you've got maximum flexibility in terms of the genres and the styles that are in there. So what have we got? Have we changed it dramatically? Not really. Still debut to grade 8. That's in there. 12 tracks now in the book, so that's good. A big selection of tracks. Wide range of genres, we've spoken about that. 6 solo arrangements and 6 band tunes in each grade. So we've got some solo arrangements and ones for the band. GBD crossover, so guitar, bass and drums. Rockschool's original 3 products. We started Rockschool back in 1991. Norton, who was our founder and chairman, who's actually coming quite soon to India. I think he may try and make it up here and see you guys. So if he's here, come and see him, ask him all the questions about why he started it, how he started it. It's been going 35 years. I'll say he was 5 years old when he started it. He'll thank me for that one. So we've got those original 3 that last time when we released it, we had shared repertoire. If any of you have got music schools where you've got guitar, drums or bass lessons going on inside, we've got those shared repertoire tunes across guitar, bass and drums so everyone can play as a band. And by the way, if you're not using that to your advantage, I know most of you will be piano teachers, that's why you're here today, but you probably maybe work in a music school with other teachers. If they're not getting them together to play as a band, it's a missed opportunity, because that's why we designed those 3 books, to work really locked together with a lot of shared repertoire. Now piano can join the band because some of those songs are carrying on. A sneak bit of information for next year. New coming out next year is acoustic guitar. We've got a brand new acoustic guitar syllabus and a brand new vocal syllabus coming out next year. They will also share some songs with piano and guitar, bass and drum. You don't need to do the work, we've done it for you. You can get bands going, offer extra lessons. You know, if you're a piano teacher and you know that there are some students out there, get them in. You'll have shared repertoire with guitar, bass and drums. You can get bands going, do extra lessons and have loads of fun. It's also our first ever hybrid product. So we've got 6 pieces in the printed book and 6 pieces in our new digital platform. And you can upgrade and have everything digital if you want. It's super useful. If you haven't played much with our new system, Riff, which is housed in Backstage, then I'm going to show you plenty about that. You can just purchase ebooks and it automatically logs in for you, but there's really, really good functionality there. How do those 12 tracks break down? Let's look at those in a bit more detail. So 6 are session style, band style that we recorded in the studio. You'll be having a look at that. I'm going to take you behind the scenes into the studio via some videos later. Some of them will have vocals on there. If they were big hits, big pop hits with vocals on there, we recorded the vocals, and some are instrumental. 6 of them are solo piano tracks. Now, when we made this, we went and spoke to piano teachers like yourselves and said, what did you like about the old Rockschool syllabus? What didn't you like? We spoke to some teachers that don't work with us, that maybe use Trinity or ABRSM, and we said, well, why have you never tried Rockschool piano? And they said a few things, some of which we'll get onto later, but mostly they said, it's all with backing track. Rockschool, pop and rock syllabus is all backing tracks. And life's not like that. You know, you don't always sit at the piano and have a backing track. And we said, yeah, you're right, absolutely right. Because if you want to have a nice journey through music, maybe become a professional musician, or even a good community musician, you know, sometimes you'll have a chance to play in church and you'll need to play solo, sometimes it might be with a band, and yet if you've only ever learnt one way or the other, lots of classical pianists only ever play solo, lots of pop pianists only ever play in a band, you're not really getting the chance to experience both. So you want to be able to play solo, play in a band, play duets, play in different settings. So that's why we've got some solo and some with band. And solo doesn't mean classical. It just means solo. So there might be some jazz arrangements that are solo, some pop arrangements or rock arrangements that are solo. And likewise, not all of the band tunes are going to be with backing track. There might be a film score that's got backing track and so forth. And those new wide variety of genres, including classical. Now, I said hybrid a minute ago, and there's been lots of crazy ideas for hybrids. That was one of them, the first attempt at a flying car. I used to watch kind of, movies and cartoons as a kid, and everyone was going to have a flying car by this time. We haven't quite managed it. There's a few contraptions, but that one definitely didn't work. But this really is a good idea. A hybrid product is absolutely great. And why have we chosen to mix analog and digital? Well, we love them both. We love analog, we love paper. Paper's not going anywhere. You're never going to pick up a paper book and it's going to say 10% battery, and you're going to go, how do I get through this lesson? You're never going to pick up a paper book and it's going to say no Wi-Fi, no signal, can't access. It's always going to be there, paper, which is great. You can put it on your music stand and it's going to last forever and be fantastic, unless it gets wet. That's the one thing paper books don't like, if that's ever happened to you and you ever spilt anything on your paper book. But other than that, they're pretty much foolproof. Whereas digital has got a lot more functionality. But just thinking about music in general, I spoke about how do we listen to music. Lots of people stream music, right? These days we've got apps on our phone, whether it's Spotify or Amazon or different apps. Sometimes we use YouTube or Facebook and we're streaming music. If we look last year in 2024, combining them all together, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon together had a revenue of £2,018.4 million. I don't know if that's a trillion, a billion, a quadrillion. It's a lot. It's many, many millions. And that was up on the year before, an 8% increase in people listening to music digitally. But percentage-wise, what went up even more than that was analog sales of good old-fashioned vinyl records. Now, some of you look far too young to remember a vinyl record, but they might have come back and been kind of cool now. But you all know what I'm talking about, right? The good old vinyl record, actually sold 10% more last year than it did the year before. And that made nearly £200 million in sales of the old-fashioned vinyl record. So we've got to embrace both. And we can't ignore the way that people consume music these days and the way that they learn. I'm sure you've got lots of students that say, I saw this video, I saw it on YouTube, I saw it here, I want to play this piece, can you teach me this piece? People learn digitally. It's probably also annoying sometimes that you've taught them beautifully with correct fingering and then they go and watch a video on YouTube and you come back and you go, why did you watch that one? Because now they've learnt it completely wrong. So we've thought about that too. But we try to be the next generation of creatives and inspire the next generation of creativity at RSL. So you'll notice that what we do, often the other boards will try and follow a few years later. Now, there's pros and cons to that. Do we, I suppose, I'm in India, I should use cricket, do we hit a 6 every time with everything we do? Does everything we try always work 100% of the time? No, it doesn't. I'll be honest with you. We try some products, we try some things, and maybe they don't work perfectly first time. But 8 or 9 out of 10, we do hit it for 6. So I'd rather be working for a company that's exciting and trying new things and trying to bring you new things as teachers and your students new things than just sit there and do the same old, same old. So really, this is our first big leap forward in combining technologies with the piano syllabus. So that brings us to Riff and Backstage. Backstage is our platform that houses a number of different features, and you access it via your ebooks, and you really access Riff most of all, which is where we house our ebooks and our new interactive sheet music player. Very quick overview video here so that you can see a quick view of some of the features, and then hopefully the Wi-Fi is going to behave and be quick enough for me to show you and demonstrate some of the features. But have a little look at this very short video and get a rough idea of what it can do. So as you can see, lots of things that it can do. That's a very quick overview video and probably hard to see everything in detail. So, we're going to go to Backstage, our Backstage area of the website, and check it out. Bear with me. So, let's hope we're still connected. We are, very good. So, this is the sort of screen that you'll see. Now, there are many options down that left-hand side, which are options that were designed for something slightly different. As you know, RSL does a lot of work across India. It's our 3rd biggest region internationally. So it's really important for us. You guys are really important. Without you, we just wouldn't be Rockschool and RSL. You're the guys that make it, your students make it, which is why you've begun to see them on our front covers. No longer are the big rock stars on there. It's you guys. We've got some teachers, we've got some students on there, because those are the people that are important to us. But there are many countries we don't work in, and that's largely due to the fact that they don't understand exams. They've got different methods. In the US, in America, they've got a band method, a high school band method. It's not really about taking graded exams. It's similar in Germany, France, they have different systems. So we've come up with something that suits them a lot more, and for people that want to start their music schools from scratch and franchise the Rockschool name and be called Rockschool all over the globe. So we've got a bunch of features down here, like being able to book lessons and pay for them in one place, have a communication system and chat with parents and teachers and students and people that you work with, colleagues. We've got forums for teachers to chat and communicate. And we're actually thinking about a way of making a sort of reduced, affordable package for you in India that might help you be a bit more connected with your teachers and students. So I'll show you a few features that aren't switched on yet in India with your ebooks. And if you think they would be useful to you, let Arup know, let Mele know, and we'll see if we can make that happen and come up with a package. We've been talking about that a little bit over the last few days that might help you be a bit more connected. When you see some of the features, if you go, yeah, that would be really useful, we'll try and make that happen. So that's what we've got down on the left-hand side, are a bunch of different options, but really the one that you'll come to most often is ebooks, which is here. Every person that has a Backstage account gets some samples that you'll see at the top, and then we've got a filtering system. You can obviously scroll through and keep scrolling and scrolling this way to see all of the books that we've got in there. We've got literally our whole catalogue in there now, including the classical things. We've got our horn section syllabus, trumpets and trombones. They're all in here, but we want to really have a look. We've got pedalling now. It's a great tune. I could listen to that all day, particularly the original. But you can see what we've added. Now we've got pedaling. Now again, as piano teachers, once students discover the pedal, it can be a blessing or a curse. Because they go, ah, the pedal. And suddenly everything is like this. Somebody said messy. Yeah, right? Everything gets messy, doesn't it? And we've all had that. We've all had the student that just, it's like the accelerator pedal. The Bangalore drivers would be brilliant at the sustain pedal. It's just right foot down all the time. But yeah, right, that happens. So now you've got that extra camera there showing top-down view so you can see where you are on the piano. You've got posture cam, and now we've got foot cam so that we can really see what's going on with the pedaling. Really useful to teach with, really useful if you're a student using an ebook at home, you can see what's going on. Some tricky rhythms in here. Let's have a look at the score. We've also got changes in time signature. This is grade 4 now. So if we have a look a little bit further down, we've got 2/4 into 4/4. So there we go. Now, by the time we get up here, we've got so many teaching options and learning options, it can be a bit confusing. We've got a video, we've got a score that's kind of blurred out, faded, we've got the bars we want to look at. It'll be hard for you to see, it's much easier on the screen. There's a little button that pops up called Focus, which is here. And if we go into focus mode, all the distractions go away, and the bars that we want our students to work on, bang, they're there in nice big font, for want of a better word, nice big size that we can see exactly what we want the students to be working on. Now, accidentally, when I've drawn my loop, I've given us 3 bars, which is a weird sort of length, isn't it? Now, really quickly, at the bottom there, you'll just be able to see a couple of numbers on the screen. We can immediately add bars before or after. So I'm just going to add in another bar before our 2/4 bar. So now we've got something that's quite useful to practice. A 4/4 bar into a 2/4 bar, and now 2 bars of 4 afterwards. Right, much more useful. We could add another couple of bars and it's really clear to focus. Now, here's the bit that if you want switched on, let the guys know and we'll try and work it out. We won't be able to probably switch it on for free, but we'll try and work out an affordable way of doing it. The really clever thing that you can do now is set this as homework. So just these 4 bars, if you want your students to practice on it, because it's tricky, all you need to do is highlight it, and then in the top right hand corner you'll see a few blue icons. One of them is the homework button. We can click on that and we can assign it to whoever our students or learners are. I've got example child, the imaginatively named example child. I can click on them and now I can assign that as homework. Ping, there it goes. Parents at home get a little message or email telling them what they've got to practice, and when the student clicks on that in their section of Backstage, it loads up immediately, bang, with those 4 bars already highlighted, ready to go, so they can't forget. It's really useful. It's a little bit more complicated for us than just you guys buying an ebook, so there's a bit more development and plumbing in. But if you think things like that would be really useful, that's something that we could add in. I think it's really useful, but it just requires, it's not as simple as just connecting an ebook up, because you have to have logins and emails and a bit more of a system built around it. But it's an incredibly useful feature. I'm going to have a quick look at, what didn't we look at? Oh, rhythm counts might be more useful in this one. Let me make it a bit bigger. Okay, so you can now see we've got, across those bars we were looking at, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3 and 2E and a 3 and. So we've got a much nicer way of looking at rhythms if that's how we like to teach and our students like to learn. So it's really nice, particularly on some of those triplet passages. That's also great. Now, this is something that you might like to do if you're a pop teacher or you've come to teaching through pop more than classical. I'm going to hide the rhythm counts. Now, what we've got on at the moment is obviously the score, but we've also got very small chord symbols, which are something like this. Those are the basic harmonies, not the part that's written. But some of us might like to teach the harmony of a pop song to our students, get them immersed in the song, the chords, what it feels like, and then get them to play the part that's notated for the exam. Dead easy. At the click of a button, we hide the notation, and now we've got a chord chart. Yeah, what we might call a lead sheet, Sometimes if you're playing together, jamming together, you haven't got everything written out, someone scribbles down a few chords, can we play this? Or maybe it's something in church, people go, do you know that hymn, do you know that hymn? No, I'll scribble the chords out for you quickly. We've got a chord chart. So you might want to just jam through with your students on those chords. Jam away as much as you like with a simple chord chart. This really is entirely and completely flexible. You can now teach how you like to teach in the ways that you like to see, and students can learn in the way that they like to learn. If they're more visual, it's all there for them. They can actually see a visual representation. You can put note names in, you can just focus on the notes, you can take the chord symbols away. If that's distracting and you've got students going, what's F minor 7, flat 9, sharp 5, diminished 13? I don't know what those are. So, you might have things where you just want to remove distractions and make it more simple, give some clarity to what you're teaching. You can do that. We designed this to be flexible. You're the teachers, you should have something that suits you. We can't do that in a book. We can only print the page once with what we think should be on the page. You can decide now, you can be the publisher, you can go, well, I just think my students should see this, or you've got a student that's struggling a little bit and you go, do you know what, I'm going to turn on this, this and that. So Riff is super flexible.